Hi, I'm Coach Hallis, and welcome to episode 18 of the Keeping It Real vlog. This is quarter two, week 7, and this is the week before our public speech exhibition for the $10 challenge. It is a stressful week, and yeah, the pieces are coming together, not as quickly or smoothly as I'd hoped. We had last week off for Thanksgiving, the whole week we had off, so. Um, it's not ideal the way that the semester wraps up when you are working in a traditional school that still has uh, standard standardized testing going on, still has traditional things wrapping up around this time. We are in our um, basically 3 weeks before the semester ends, the first semester ends, and on our block schedule, that's like the ending of most of our classes before we move on to the second half of the year. There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of testing. There's been workplace readiness testing. There's been ASVAB testing. There's been standards of learning tests, which are our state tests. Stands for SOL stands for standard of learning. It's a humorous acronym. But yeah, so all that stuff's going on in addition to like typical attendance issues of inconsistent students being there. Sometimes a kid who's not there very much, they're finally here, they're in class, we can get some work done, and they've got to go take this test. So there's that struggle. Um, but we just have to work around it. We have to work through it, do the best we can. I've met with students on Zoom when they were unable to come to class uh, for different reasons. I've met students outside of traditional class hours. Some have been doing quite a bit of work outside of traditional class time. Some need to be doing more work in and outside of class time. So it's just a matter of focusing on authentic purposes behind the work. Um, when trying to encourage students to pull this thing together, it's not about it's not about, hey, you need to do this for a grade. It's what are the authentic, meaningful reasons to do the work itself, and why should you want to share this? And yeah, a lot of students are, as we get closer to the date itself, which we only have 2 more class like dates before the speech itself, one of which being on the day of. Um, Many of the students are nervous. They have all these different like stages of development. Some go through like the denial of, no, that's not going to happen, or I can't do this, or that sort of thing. The hope was that we would have had um, a couple of days this week where kids would be practicing their speeches. We only had one who did, um, and that gives us 2 days next week. Um, Many speeches are at least done. They were supposed to have, we discussed that because originally we were going to have the whole Thanksgiving week off. They decided, our school board made a vote to give us the whole week off instead of having those 2 days that we were going to have, which was 2 days of preparation that we lost from my perspective. Um, it's nice that, oh, okay, well, we got a whole week off, but that's 2 days that we were going to have to work on this that we didn't. And it's 2 days where you already have students missing that, well, now I don't have those 2 days as 2 opportunities to have some of those kids in school. And there's no guarantee they would have been, but it's just, it's lost time. So we got to try to make up for it, try to make up for it. Um, the students chose, hey, let's have our final drafts due before Thanksgiving break, and then we'll have this week, and uh, it should be done, and we should get into practicing. But we are where we are. So a lot of kids have been scrambling this week to get something done. Um, there's one who is, yeah, I mentioned, I think in the last time, our student who's going to be our MC. Um, he's going to have to still pull together, what order students are going to be speaking in. There's this like flux of who's actually going to show up for this thing, and then the night of, there's going to be like that nervousness, obviously for all of them, but also for me, of like, who shows up to this thing? Are they ready? have I set them up for failure or have we prepared for success? We're going to have 2 days next week where on Monday we'll spend a little bit of time trying to wrap up the writing component for people who aren't done with it, and then the other half of the class, or a little more than half of that class period, we want to devote towards going down to the space and at least trying to deliver what's going to be essentially practice, and then the day of will be more of rehearsal, where then we should really have the room set up the way it's going to be and have them go through all the steps and procedures of like where are you going to sit, what order are we going to be in, all that sort of thing. So the hope is Monday we have everybody at least practice what they're going to say, and then Tuesday they have a more formal rehearsal for what they're going to do, and then you just don't know. I mean, this is part of the real world experience of, when anytime that you do an event, anytime that you do something that's meaningful, it isn't like automatic and safe and secure. When you have an athletic performance, there's no guarantee that you're going to win or even perform well. But that's what gives stakes and tension and meaning to that performance. If it were something that were just going in and doing it without any stress, then it wouldn't be as meaningful when you're successful, and there wouldn't be as many learning opportunities for things to build on when you're not as successful. So that's what we have going on, and we'll see what the stress leads to when Tuesday evening rolls around, and you can check with the student interview that will be linked in the description for this video, for how he was doing when he's trying to pull in these things kind of at the last minute, and where his head is and how he's feeling. And many students are feeling more stressed or in denial than he is, but there is that to check out as well. So that's where we are the week before and 2 class periods before our public speech exhibition for the $10 challenge.